Joining me is Liberal Senator Holly Hughes and former Labor Senator and Cabinet Minister Stephen Conroy, still a very influential figure in Labor. Watch what he says, because what he says sometimes happens in the party. Well, speaking of which, Steve, how can Daniel Andrews justify this spending?
Well, you know, you've got to admire his political skills, because in announcing this, he completely snookered the opposition and they are supporting it. So he gets to get bipartisan support, he gets to save netball from its own debacles, and he gets to appeal directly to inner city votes to vote Labor against the Greens in places like Richmond, Northcote and Albert Park. So this is just a win-win-win for him. It just again demonstrates that he is the most superior politician in the state and as a state leader across the country.
You've put it brilliantly. It is a win-win-win for him. Holly Hughes, how can we make this decision one that's a win for the taxpayers? Steve makes a great point. The Liberals are so weak in Victoria that they've gone along with it instead of opposing it in principle. But how could you justify this decision without saying it'll win him an election?
The chutzpah of Dan Andrews is really something to behold. It really is just extraordinary. You've got unprecedented ramping of ambulances, shortages across the state. You've got downturns in education standards after kids in Victoria were locked away for 2 years. Yet this is what he does less than a month out from an election. And it is welcomed with open arms. It's extraordinary to think that the Victorian budget is in the state that it is. Now, is it New South Wales, Tasmania and Queensland that their debt combined is still going to be less than Victoria's debt after this latest budget statement? It's like $166 billion the state of Victoria is going to be in debt. Yet somehow or other, another $15 million for netball just waved on through. It really is something to behold.
Yep. If it wins him an election, taxpayers' money is his money.